We'll call this Harriman City Council meeting to order, June the 15th, 2021. Before we get started, we'll have a prayer by Councilman Wright, followed by a pledge allegiance to the flag. Councilman Wright.
Join us, please. Our Heavenly Father, tonight we accept the praise and thanks that people offer to you and for allowing us to meet here tonight. And we thank you for watching over us as we perform the duties as a council. May our actions be pleasing to you. Father, we pray for unity always to prevail in our community, and that you help us all in the city to be able to come together to resolve any issues that may affect us. And Lord, we also pray for our nation and its leaders, that they too come together for the common cause that our nation faces today. May they too look to you for guidance and wisdom in making the decisions for all people in our country. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the please.
Aaron Cross.
Here.
Buddy Holly. Ken Johnson.
Here.
Kenny Me.
Here.
Sam Russell.
Here.
Lonnie Wright.
Here.
Like declare quorum. Motion to approve the minutes of the June 1st, 2021 meeting. I'll make the motion. Motion by Councilman Johnson. Second.
I'll second.
Second by Councilman Frost. Councilman Johnson. No. Councilman Frost.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Cross.
Yes.
Ken Johnson.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. Motion to pay the bills. Motion. Motion by Councilman Russell. Second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Wright. Councilman Russell.
No, sir.
Councilman Wright.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Cross.
Yes.
Ken Johnson.
Yes.
Kenny Me.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. This time we'll hear from delegations. If you'd like to address this council, please come to the podium, state your name, and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Mr. Mayor, if I could.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate your time this evening. My name's James Scripper, and pastor at Dillis Baptist Church. Been there about 7 years. My wife is Taylor. She's been a teacher at Bowers for about 5 years, and we own some property here in the city limits. And her and I are the ones who are going to be paying to tear down the old Midtown Motel. So I just wanted to come to you and inform you. We've owned it for about 4 years, and since then purchased it at Clough auction with his estate, and the plans are to redevelop that property and to put in a medical building. East Tennessee Children's Hospital is going to put in a pediatric clinic there, so that's a big deal for our city and for the county as well. And then I'm a pharmacist also, and so looking to join an adjacent suite and open an independent pharmacy there, which Midtown doesn't have. That'll be helpful as well. With the development of that property, the city planning commission approved that recently at their previous meeting, and we'll have some excess land on both sides of the development there to continue to develop or sell for another entity to come in and develop also. So looking to increase the property value there in that area, increase tax revenue, increase employment. East Tennessee Children's Hospital is hiring a Roane County lady, I believe is a physician, not mistaken. I don't know if that's public yet, but that's something good to look forward to. So increasing employment and hopefully be, I don't think it's offensive to anybody to say that that's kind of been an eyesore for some time. So we're looking forward to sort of redevelop that area and bring in some property value, increase in employment and so on, and hopefully help people turn left instead of just right there to the red light off that exit. So I wanted to just bring it to you tonight to inform you, Mr. Mayor here has been, and Teresa also have been great help, because this has been in the planning stages for a long time, and we're just getting started. Hope to start the demolition by the end of next month. And also also want to bring them too, because any help that the city could offer, or any assistance you could give, or suggestions you could make, we are very open to that. My wife and I, we're not rich, and we're not a big company, but we've invested ourselves here in the city. I'm originally from Walker, Moore County, and we've invested ourselves here for some time, and we'll continue to do so. So far, things have gone well. TDOT is, one of the things that's kind of been an obstacle is TDOT's requiring us to put in a turning lane off of the highway there on Moses' Lane. And that's an expense, and things have gotten, things are really expensive. And so we just wanted to inform you, and then also allow us to see if there's any opportunity that you all could think, because we're ignorant to a lot of things, could help or assist or suggestions you can make. We're definitely open to it. So, Mr. Mayor, appreciate your all's time this evening. Thank you.
A couple of things. We appreciate you investing in the city. When you go back a couple of years, we've been talking about this and looking at that growth down there. One of the biggest things when we bought the property was cleaning that property up. I know it helped the police department. It helped what was going on down there, and we cleaned it up and make it a better place. One thing that we have looked at being the road superintendent is Moses' Lane has to be widened a little bit as you go along. It only goes back maybe 1,000 foot inside the city. Well, that 1,000 foot is for basically one car, so it has to be widened. It is a city street, so we have looked at that, about widening that section of road. The other thing is TDOT, and we've all worked with TDOT, TDOT's all worked with. But they are requiring everybody on through to put turn lanes in. And that whole road's going to be a turn lane for TDOT. Now, are they making you put it on going toward Kingston or coming back from Kingston?
Coming back from Kingston. Y12, they hold some leverage because, of course, Y12 purchased an access right away there. In order to do that, they require them to put in a turning lane. So as you go down through there, it would be almost the exact, type of turning lane in that median coming from Kingston that would turn onto Moses' Lane, which kind of been a little, aggravation and frustration because it's a turning lane that really doesn't come onto my property. With the state and TDOT has been some kind of aggravation. But yes, to kind of give you an idea of what they're expecting, you see it from what 12 has done. Of course, some of the leverage they have with us in this property is we're going to have to get an entrance permit because right now that property is just a gravel and of course it's being redesigned. So that's the leverage they have for us to require us to put in that turning lane going on the Moses Lane.
Yeah, I noticed where they put the turn lane going into Y12. It goes in from the Kingston area too.
As you're coming from Kingston.
So both interchanges right there will have turning lanes, which I didn't think was going to make you all when we first talked.
Yeah.
As long as you had one in from Y12, because it lost one of your property, because you're connected to Y12.
And we'll have another entrance exit going off of onto Moses Lane also.
Right.
And you brought up about widening that road. We really appreciate that too.
Well, if there's anything we can do, we'll, if council has anything, we're here to help. Again, we appreciate you doing that. Maybe in the future, let us know what you need from us.
Appreciate
you coming here. Thank you.
Well, I think it's something we're probably going to look at stuff like that, see what we can do about the turn lanes if everybody's going to be done. Because the way we want to try to get it developed, and he's got probably where the trailer was and by Y12, and then across the street. We can get that thing going.
And I think that's a good point. Me and city manager, Mr. Mason, met with the developer last week that's developing some more property in Midtown, which I don't know that, what all we can say and can't say. He didn't tell me not to say anything, so I'm not worried about it. But there's Burger King and Arby's both coming. Both should be completed by February of next year. Hopefully, Burger King will be completed by October, November, Arby's by February. And on one of those pieces of property, stormwater system. And what's the city, will they help us in the stormwater system? We understand y'all own the stormwater system, it comes through the property, they shouldn't run it through the property, it should be up there here. And I didn't know what the answer was. So he told us, he said, no, I'm looking at a lot, he's also looking at buying an hotel down there, and he's looking at some other stuff, and he said, you all got to help somewhere. And so we need to be thinking about that. That Midtown is fixing to grow. I think the city manager's also looking at, we've talked to him about the corner property that's across the street from Walgreens, the property beside Walgreens. At first I didn't think he was that serious, but he's pretty serious. He's already turned stuff in the planning commission. Those things are going to happen. But from the city of Harriman, what part are we taking? Do we say you're on your own, or do we?
I believe we're very, very proactive with all the problems we're dealing with now, talking about the cost to fix it in the long run. I mean, it takes a little bit of our time now and trying to figure out, like we are doing by the Food City gas behind CVS, well, they're starting to get involved in that.
Right.
But anyway, that's just my thought.
We'll talk about that a little bit more maybe in the workshop tonight, just to kind of go with that.
I'm Barry Paulson with Darkers Entertainment. We do the Tennessee Pirate Fest and Tennessee Mini Boat Fair. So I just wanted to give you a quick debrief of how the festival went. Good news, it went well. So you each have a sheet here. And so our whole purpose is to bring in more people into Harriman and into our county. So we bring in tourism, and we spend money, people spend money, and we hire local workers, and we work with churches, different things, to staff the festival, and so that all went really well. We'd like to thank the city for maintaining and graveling the road and making ticket coupons available to people and cross-promoting festivals. We also worked with Rome County Schools. That was really exciting, where we gave coupons to all of the elementary and middle school children, and then the high school drama and history students. So we had, 213 redemptions of any coupon. So that helps bring people in, because you get a free ticket, but then you get a paid adult ticket. Rome Tourism also gives us money in our advertising budget, because what we do is the same thing they do, is bring in tourists. And we work with Rome County News, also Baymont Inn and Suites in Harriman. They cross-promote with us and give us discounted rooms. And I called today, and they had over 50 rooms that were rented for people coming specifically for the festival. Let's see, the results, our attendance, again, is with good weather. And we added one extra day because we switched the order of the festival, so we increased 150% versus 2019. Granted, it's a low bar, but it was bad weather in October in 2019, but we'll take it. We heard more and more people say, oh, this is a family show, this is great quality. Our total gate attendance was 2,708, and that doubled our average daily attendance versus 2019. Again, we'll take it. We have more kids coming in, so people say, oh, it's a family show. That's good. Plus, we have almost 150 people working the show, between vending and staff and performers. So that we don't count that in the gate because they're putting on the show. So people came from 24 states to come to our Pirate Festival here. That's 2 more than our medieval fair, which is our bigger show. And so you can see the map of where people came from. And this is based on license plate data. I mean, they might have been in Knoxville anyway, or the greater Knoxville area, but still, you say, wow, that they came to the show. And then within Tennessee, that people came from 51 counties, so that's more than half the state. So that's great. I mean, granted, you would expect that most people would come from Knoxville, which is a major metropolitan base, and Rome County second. But still, bringing in all these tourists, so that's exciting. And so we're trying to put the Pirate Festival to bed, and then ramping up for actually, it's the 6th annual Tennessee Video Fair that will be in October. So, you guys have any questions? I mean, we're so happy that we're still here. Talking about not rich, you couldn't say, sold our guest house, sold property, anything, had an extra job. But the whole point is that we're doing what we love to do, even though it's very challenging. It's just my husband and me doing all this, but we appreciate the city and the county. And if there's anything that you all can say to us that we can implement, we definitely want to do it, because we enjoy working with you.
We appreciate all you do, and you all don't just do the medieval fair and the Pirate Fest. You come to a lot of our events. You participate. I've seen you in the library. I've seen you at the Princess T, I've seen y'all everywhere doing things, so we appreciate what you do, not just during your event time, but throughout the year. And I think it will continue to grow. We thank you for what you do.
Thank you. And my super sheet, but I want to come here too.
Anyone else like to address council? We're going to reports, fire department.
There you guys got my monthly stats. The only other, I've got a couple more things I want to update you on. We do have an engine that is in Knoxville, get some repairs done to it. It's getting close where we're going to start looking at another engine. I had talked to Dr. Curley about it, and this is some more repairs that's come up in the last inspection that we had done on it. So they're being done at this time. It's probably going to, he gave me a quote of probably $7,000. But, you know, we got to have the engine, so we'll get it back on the road. It's a 2010 model. And it started giving us a lot of trouble here lately. Just different things hitting here and there. The next thing, we got all our security cameras put up by the maintenance guy. He put all the cameras up at both stations, so we got cameras at both stations now to cover our property and all that stuff. And that's about it. I'll take any questions, and I want to congratulate her for the city manager. Look forward to working with him.
Well, they would you.
Is that engine one or engine two or engine three?
That'll be engine 2.
Is that the main engine in South Harriman?
Yes, sir.
What's the brand of
Here.
So new engines around 7,000?
No,
Or is that just repairing?
that's just repaired. A new engine will be about $450,000.
I like your $7,000.
I was kind of thinking that,
That's just
seems kind of low.
This thing.
But yeah, that's $7,000 a lot. But that other, you have to get a new one. That's bad.
Well, and most engines, they should last about 15 years. This is on its passing 11 years, so it ain't lasted like they should have.
No.
I think we've all come to the conclusion that we will change the name brands and do something else, maybe silver. But anyway, and Doc did tell him, city manager this morning in the workshop, we're going to eventually start looking at an engine. So, you might have anything for the fire chief? Thanks, sir. Police department.
Everyone should have received our monthly stats. Hopefully Teresa has trouble with them, but I think she got it straightened out to get them to everybody. I'll answer any questions if you have any. We did start our younger summer camp today. We had 31 kids to show up this morning. Pretty good crowd. Really had a great time today with them. One thing, Bowers Elementary and the school system, they're actually providing the lunches today, tomorrow, and Thursday for the kids. And I think City Manager Mason is providing the lunch Friday for, it's really, you know, he's providing lunch Friday. He's going to cook out for us at the splash pad because that's where we're going to be Friday. But the kids had a great time. They learned what it's like to be a police officer today and the roles of the different officers, from sergeants to detectives to the captain and the chief. And tomorrow, I'd like to thank Chief Daniels. He's going to let us use his training room tomorrow because they have air conditioning. So we're going to go over there tomorrow, and we're going to have the canine demonstration in the morning and go over Bullion and Strangers tomorrow is the lineup. And Thursday, Chief Daniels and them are going to actually teach fire safety to the kids this week. So we appreciate all the help he's given us and the support you all are giving us. The parents were very excited today about the camp and everything. So thank you all for allowing us to do that.
Any questions for the police department?
You need me to walk by and look at me and stranger danger, stranger danger.
That's okay, thank you, John. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Thank Charlie, because he is allowing us from 10 to Friday to use the splash pad for the kids. Sorry.
Any water to be on, so go ahead.
He's gonna cut it on for us, right?
Dr. Carter.
We finished the draft of the budget, which is quite an accomplishment because we were using estimates this time rather than having full information. First time I ever tried this. And I think part of that having budget that's generated from actual data. But I think it's a pretty good budget and we'll be discussing a little bit about it tonight.
So you guys know.
I figured I was supposed to.
There, you say that wrong. Oh, you got that figured?
Chief Daniel's not allowed to answer. I don't know if y'all know, this is a fire hose, and usually when it goes full throttle, it takes 2 firemen to hang on to that and to control it with so much force. My 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, I've already been in the city. I feel like this thing has been right in my mouth and wide open. About like Tim's grandson that got caught under the bucket at the splash pad. I've been inundated with so much information, and so I want to start off and just thank y'all as part of my report for giving me the opportunity, the time that the whole time I've been in 2.5, 3 weeks, and I've gotten around to meet every single department, the employees that work for the city of Harriman, and people that work in this city hall. I'm telling you, I've been at Midway for a long time before I came. I was here in Harriman, but truly to get rooted in here, there are some great, great people that are truly dedicated to the city. They're doing a fantastic job. I think they represent Harriman well, and they make me proud. So I know they make you all proud. So we've got some really, really good employees, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Sort of what my first 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks have been like. The mayor and I have had the opportunity to meet with, and I don't know how much information I'm supposed to give to this, so if you want more, please let me know. I did send an email out to each councilman. I told Sam, I'm not sure if I had the right email address, but my intention every week is to improve communication, especially with city council, to know sort of what's going on here. So if you didn't get that email, let me know, because I want to improve that communication. But the mayor and I had a chance to meet with Evan Sanders, who I mentioned about 3 weeks ago. We have another conference call with him tomorrow about developing a plan. And Mayor, can I tell sort of the analogy you used? Mayor said, in the past, we've had a lot of things we want to do, and we've sort of done it here, we've done it here, and done it here. It's like throwing darts. So we met with Evan Sanders. Evan is going to sit down with the mayor, myself, I think Dr. Curley and Teresa and Keita tomorrow, and we're going to talk about coming up with a comprehensive plan for the city. And that's twofold. We're not allowed to apply for a recreation grant going forward in 2022 because the state changed the rules. So we have to have a plan, but we talked to Evan about underneath that plan, addressing some issues that we have with recreation, helping develop that with lakefront, that we talked about riverfront, but also some affordable housing, not necessarily Section 8 housing, but affordable housing. So this will give us and the council a plan. It's not something that'll be in a book that we put on our shelf, and once they do it, it's done, that we would really work. The hope is that over 5 or 10 years as city council, we can work together to put Harriman in the best direction and keep from throwing, as Mayor said, throwing the darts at different things. So help us to be more proactive as opposed to reactive. And I think that's probably the best way to handle these solutions. And I'll help, I think Dr. Curley even agrees, as we go forward and spending our taxpayers' money. So that's a big thing that we're looking for. And then, so you mentioned a developer in the Midtown area. He's got some really good projects that I'm excited about. I just got off the phone before we had a council meeting about that corner lot. And And the mayor, we went into it, I wasn't sure, like after 5 minutes, I was taking note after note. And so he's got some really good ideas for that Midtown area. If you'd like more information, I'd be glad to go into greater detail with that. I don't know if, sorry, you can speak to this, do you, on this one here. To give you an update on Riverfront Park, we are close to finishing phase 1 down there, and got a lot of people working on it, but I think they're about 5 days behind what was planned. So they should be finished up, correct me if I'm wrong, Charlie, next week, that first phase.
Should be on Tuesday, and they asked for like another 5 to 7 days. So we're hoping, still 1st of July, we're looking at it. We should be done.
And then,
With the first phase.
yes, first phase. And then coming up this week, we have a lot of things I know. We're getting ready for the district tournament, that DCU district tournament that'll be going on. We also had a party, and I know Mr. Knobloch is here. They had a picnic at Guilford Park, had a great turnout Sunday in the Cornstalk Heights area. And then on Saturday, they had been celebrating Juneteenth at Triangle Park, and that starts at 2 o'clock. And so it's a big weekend coming up, and it's a big time frame is going to summer. And of course, as always, the splash pad is wide open and well attended. So it's off to a good start. If there's anything more that you need from me, please let me know, and I'll get you whatever information you need. Any questions on tape?
I got 2 things. First off, who's going to replace that fire hose you cut? That looks like a new one.
I think we got that at the cost of that $7,000 engine. For $7,000, we get another hose. So.
When city manager talks about the plan, our goal is to give people in Harriman something to see. We can talk about it and throw darts, but we want to show them something. I had Councilman Russell bring these things and put them in here today, so the people can see what we're doing. There's a picture of the new council chamber. There's a picture of some things in Riverfront Park we're going to talk about tonight. But in this plan, we're looking for a big drawing that we set out in City Hall when you walk in. It shows what we're doing, what developments we're working on. Whether it be in park and rec, whether it be in stormwater, whether it be paved, whatever they are, people get to see it. They get to see it in colors of what we're doing, and not just say, well, what's the city doing? Because, you know, like me and the city manager talked about today, if you're not a part of Harriman, and you're not here on a daily basis, you really don't know what's going on. You know, it's what they have to, it's what they see. We can tell them all day long, but they got to see the results. They got to see the end results, and they got to see what we're working towards. So that's a lot of what we're going to talk about tomorrow with Evan is what we're setting as a plan for Harriman, and then working toward that plan. Now, we have a thing every 2 years where we do like a strategy session where council meets for 2 days and we go over what we want to see happen. This is sort of the same thing, except for this is a master plan. This lays out what we're looking at as a master plan for Harriman, not just in 2 years, but up to 10 years. You know, we want to, when I leave, I want to leave it better than I found it, and I found it in good shape. So I think that's all our goals. In doing that, we're going to draw a master plan of what we want to see for Harriman. And the master plan involves you all. It's not just what I want or what Scott wants, it's what the elected officials that were elected by the people and what the people want. We'll be doing some surveys with the public to get their input, what they want to see in Harriman. So this thing will involve everyone. And then when somebody says, well, what do you vote? You had an opportunity to vote, and you could have spoke up and said we want to see it happen. So we want to involve the people a lot more in what we're doing. So that's what, you know, a little bit about what he's talking about. And guys, I tell you, I've been around as a mayor for 5 years. I've been on the council prior to that. I've been fire chief. I've been here my whole life. And I'm more excited now than I have ever been with the morale, the employees, with everything coming together. We're clicking on all cylinders. Harriman is really moving, and I want to thank the city manager for the last 2 weeks he's been here. He don't stop. He's here before daylight, and I'll come by at night time just see if he's still here, because I told him, don't live here. You know, you got a family. Harriman will be here long after you're gone, so make sure you take care of family first. but I really appreciate the job he's doing. If he stays on track for the first 3 weeks throughout his time, it's going to be amazing where we're at. Just look at it. So appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor.
Any other department heads need to address council that's not on the list? Did you say you got that right? All right, we're going to new business. First item, discuss and possibly approve 911 dispatch agreement for 2021 through 2022. Everyone should have a copy of that agreement. It's the same agreement. The wording has not changed from last year. I want to know what percentage they went up. The contract is a 3% increase each year. They didn't do that last year based off of COVID. This has a 3% increase in it. So that's what the amount is. So I'm asking for a motion to approve the 911 for the annual payment of $90,134, making the monthly payment $7,511.17.
And it's not going up, it stays so.
3%.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second. Second by Councilman Russell. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilman Russell. Floor is open for discussion.
Well, we couldn't operate our own and do the work they do for $9,000 a year.
I'm sure.
And they do a good job, too.
Any other discussion? Call roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
David Mead.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve golf board appointment. We have an opening on the golf board. I try to put people on the golf board, we recommend to you all to put people on the golf board that use it, knows about it, and has played the game, and understands the game to make sure that we keep going in the right direction with the golf course. Recommendation from the golf board is Bear Tickle. Bear's been, I think, a member of the golf course for over 40 years, and is up there at least twice a week playing. So Bear Tickle would be a good addition to the golf.
Make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Russell.
Second.
Second by Councilman Meade. Councilman Russell.
That's great.
Councilman Meade.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
David Mead.
Yes.
Sam Russell.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Motion carries. Motion for some air conditioning. Hopefully before we meet in here again for our council meeting, the air conditioning system will be in, so we'll be a lot cooler than we are now. Anything else that come before this council before council remarks? Councilman Russell. Councilman Wright.
No, sir.
Councilman Frost.
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilman Meade.
No, sir.
That's all, council. The only thing I've got is, when we look at, we've got a workshop after this to discuss the budget real quick and talk about a couple more things. I had you all, one of these handed out, that says the Harriman waterfront, revitalizing a resource. Since I've been here, we've talked about the waterway around Harriman and the non-development that we have in Galveston. Well, we put a lot of money into it this last year, as we know, with riprap, which is going to, is that right, Sam, riprap? Riprap. That we put around it, which is over $1.5 million. We've had 12 acres donated to us that combines into our park that we haven't developed. We have the paper mill site, which we haven't acquired yet. We're working on seeing what that is. But before too long, we'll have the whole river front all the way around. We have to decide, I give you this paper, we're going to have to decide whether we want to develop or whether we don't want to develop. our riverfront. And when I say develop, I'm talking about, you want to leave it the way it is, or you want to make it grow. And I'll say this before we get into the workshop. I've noticed that when the city starts working on things and making things better and spending money on things that improve our city, people jump on board. They start developing. You know, you can't go downtown now hardly and find a building that's for sale. You might find a couple that's empty, but they're not for sale. They're either going to be renovated, or they're going to do this. You know, we just had a building on the corner over here just sold in the last 2 or 3 days. So you're going to see more stuff coming to Harriman. But this ain't just Harriman. Harriman is a lot bigger than just downtown. But if you look around, all of Harriman is growing. We're one of the few places inside this county or inside this that is growing. A lot of that is because of what we're doing. Us moving forward. Us growing. And I ask council to think about this as we look at this year's budget. And we can continue to grow. We can grow our riverfront because it's one of the biggest things I hear we have not developed. We can grow in our riverfront. We can expand it and make it better for the amenities of what we offer in Harriman. But when people want to come and look, it's a place to live. We've put a splash pad in. We've done some stuff. We've worked on some parks. We can continue to grow. But we're going to start spending money to continue to grow in those directions. So just know that this is a plan, not just Riverfront Park. This is a plan of all our areas along the river as to what we can do or what we want to do. I think we need to start looking at that growth. I think we're missing the boat on that. I think our riverfront is not moving. And I think when you talk to people, they'll tell you that. So I'd like us to start looking at that. We do have 12 acres that we can develop. I want to extend our walking tracks. I want to extend what we offer. To get people to move in here, guys, the first thing they start looking at is they look at your towns, they look at your schools, they look at your jobs. We're not going to get any industry in here that I know of as far as factories. So we have to key on the other things that we can key on, and that's the better community of people working Oak Ridge and Knoxville. Now, we've got jobs here. A lot of us work right here in Harriman. Most of us in here work right here in Harriman. Some of us don't, but most of us do are here in our county. We're going to keep some of that. We're not going to keep all of it. So we have to focus on, and that's a lot of that comprehensive plan, we got to focus on what we do best and what we offer to our people. You know, we've got a pretty good sized budget there. And Doc has done a heck of a job getting those numbers lined out. But we got to figure on capital what we want to do. Do we want to continue to save, or do we want to start developing and making better for the people that live here to have better, and for people that want to come here to see better? You know, I'm more concerned right now with people that live here to give them the very best we can give them. You can't go anywhere, and I was telling Scott this today, you don't go anywhere in Rome County and find where they run a brush truck every day. You don't find that, but you do in Harriman. We offer things in Harriman you don't find anywhere else. But we need to grow our communities, we need to grow. You know, I went by Splash Pad today, I go by there almost every day just to see how many people was there. And you can't get on part of this support. You know, that's something that we've done to make it for these young people where they got somewhere to go, the little kids. Now we have to keep going up the ladder. So I want you to think about that. I'm not just doctor straining me. I'm not trying to spend money. I'm just saying we've got to start doing some things. I think we've saved some money. We've done some things right. We've got our money where we want it. We've set a goal of where we want to get. We've surpassed that goal. I think now it's time that we start looking at what we're going to do. I say that to say when we get into budget works, we need to be looking at some of the other things that we haven't had Doc out in there because it didn't have this yet. But I think there's things that we need to look at that we want to improve Harriman. We've already improved it a lot, but we want to continue that cleaning up. We clean that riverfront up, take it all the way around. It's a big plus for everybody.
Can you remember when that river was open? That riverfront?
Open?
Yeah. It's rolled up now, of course.
Yes.
Anybody can remember, it's a beautiful, beautiful river. And we're really missing that asset. Like you say, you kick the can down the road to forward. been out of shape.
And I think that's gonna have to be a goal that we're gonna have to set, and I'm looking at this year's to start doing some of that. I think the riverfront and the temperance building's gotta be two big things if we start stomping down this year. I think those are two big things we've gotta start saying that we're gonna take care of. I know you guys will be looking at the budget in a minute, so I just want to get your hearts and minds ready for that. I think that's all I have. I'm still concerned about that hose you found out there. We'll have a budget workshop in just a minute, so after we get through adjourning, take about 2 minutes or so, and let's get started on this, and we'll get to it real quick, and get out of here. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do the budget workshop in just a minute, so we'll get started on that, okay? Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. Second. All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, like sign?